Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. It's Monday night, and you know what that means. It's time for the Raw Event Center, and here's the man that could give you the raw report of what happened on Monday nights, Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Episode 1361 of the show. How's everyone doing? We're going to talk about what happened last night on Monday Night Raw. The final Raw before this coming Friday night of the draft. The 2024 WWE Draft. And I want to let you inform you guys that I will be changing the Wrestling Report Event Center thumbnails I've been making. Most of the thumbnails you saw on this channel is my own thumbnails. I have made them. I created these thumbnails, and I'm very, very proud of doing that because I want to stand out, and I know they're kind of colorful. I'm trying to make them colorful. And I know a lot of you guys are concerned, oh, you got Xia Li. She's been released. I know she's been released. That's why after the draft, they will be changed because we don't know where anybody's going to end up. And that's the thing, you know, one of my favorite wrestling ladies are going to end up, and I may have to make some changes as a result. So, we shall see what happens for sure. So be on the lookout. I think over the weekend I will work on the thumbnails, and then possibly after Monday Night Raw next Monday night, I'm going to make more. So I'll make wrestling thumbnails. Possibly do a new intro for them. So be on the lookout. And I'm probably going to change. I'll probably change TNA Impact and the TNA thumbnails in AEW as well. So be on the lookout for that. Okay. Let's talk about what happened on Raw last night. There was a huge to do. There was a huge to do. That the main event was the Battle Royal to decide to determine a new women's champion. Jey Uso decided to kick off Monday Night Raw. As you know, Jey Uso is the number one contender to the World Heavyweight title, currently held by Damian Priest, and wrestling the Columbus Crew in Ohio, and they all did the Yeet thing, and Pat McAfee doing the Yeet thing with them and all that good stuff. And he was talking about, how determined he is to really be a success on his own. Damian Priest comes out, shows him a lot of respect. He said, "Hey, but this is I'm the champion. Gotta defend this title." And then J.D. McDonough tried to attack him, but I think it kind of backfired because I think Damian Priest he was trying to protect Damian Priest, but then Jey Uso tried to give him a good super kick, but instead he hit Damian Priest, and Damian Priest was probably none too pleased about that. Meanwhile, the World Tag Team titles were on the line. Awesome Truth versus DIY. The team of Awesome Truth will be The Miz and R-Truth, while they're defending against DIY, be the team of Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. Awesome Truth did, retain the titles in a great bout that would have gone either way, but the champ shook hands with Johnny Gargano, but Tommaso Ciampa kind of been frustrated. He wants to be a champion on his own. Well, the Intercontinental title could be very well in this case, but because Sami Zayn could be holding it, but speaking of the Intercontinental title, well, before the hand, Damian Priest was upset with J.D. McDonough, and then he gets a little more upset because Dominic Mysterio showed up in the sling and said, "Hey, I was not medically cleared to compete, so Santos Escobar will fill in for me as Ricochet and Andrade take on Santos Escobar, J.D. McDonough, now Santos Escobar." And Damian Priest, I think ever since Rhea Ripley's injury, I think, Judgment Day, we haven't seen Finn Balor. I don't know what's up with Finn Balor, but let me tell you something right now. Finn Balor's got to be face palming too, along with Rhea Ripley going on now. Why? So Damian Priest just basically told him, handle your business. Just handle it. So Gunther, along with the rest of Imperium, that would be the team. That would be Ludwig Kaiser, Giovanni Vinci come out, and Gunther addressed how he wants to how he is, how great he had the Intercontinental title for 666 days, basically a year and a half. I was hoping he'd go for 2 years, but Sami Zayn beat him at WrestleMania. But then he decided, well, I think in order to keep myself going, I'm gonna participate in the King of the Ring tournament. So, which could be launched, could make sense though. Give him a king winning the tournament can give him a level up. How is he gonna have fare in the tournaments? Well, we shall soon find out. Because Gunther already set the record of consecutive days and combined days as the Intercontinental Champion, making the greatest of all time. So if he decides to go get that title again, he'll break that record. I think if he goes, he'll break that record again. So it'll be so amazing in my opinion. But the New Day, who had a rivalry with Imperium from the second half of last year coming out, and then Xavier Woods, because remember he was the last guy to become the King of the Ring, and say, well, I'm aiming to be a 2-time King of the Ring, so he's entering that tournament. He's declaring entry in that tournament as well. So that's something to not mince words with, folks. So therefore, both teams, New Day and Imperium, decide to go after Gunther tells Kaiser and Vinci take care of this, and then the two teams find it out. Again, a great bout. Either way, New Day comes out on top. Then Ludwig Kaiser tried to console Giovanni Vinci, and then proceeds to attack him to the point where officials and referees try to tell him knock it off. He runs over, kicks Vinci. I wouldn't be surprised if Giovanni Vinci gets his hands on and gets his revenge. Well, we shall see what happens in that situation, for sure. We saw a lot of folks get released. The latest 2 releases, Von Wagner and Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes is one guy that I'm going to miss in WWE because they gave him something, and he took the character, ran with it. My favorite moment is when he won the North American Championship. I think that was a beautiful thing. My funniest moment with him was when he was feuding with LA Knight, and he was LA Knight's butler, and I'm here washing your balls. Shut up! It was hilarious. And then his moments with Ted DiBiase, I thought that was really the $1 Million Man, the Hall of Famer Ted DiBiase. I thought was really cool moments with him. And I'll tell you one thing, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back to TNA and goes after that X Division Championship as Trevor Lee. I want to see him back in TNA for sure. We shall see. And after attacking Giovanni Vinci, Kaiser then tells Gunther he got the job done. Gunther had a smile on his face. It seemed like Gunther had a feeling that Giovanni Vinci has been the weak link to the to Imperium. Question is, if they decide to add a third member, who can they replace him with? I think a couple of guys in NXT. People will say Ilya Dragunov, but I see Charlie Dempsey. If they decide to draft him, if they put him in the draft, I see Charlie Dempsey replacing Giovanni Vinci as the new and improved Imperium. I'll tell you one thing, Charlie Dempsey could fit right in. But we shall see what happens at the draft. Don't forget that. And also Charlie Dempsey's the current NXT Heritage Cup champion. Anyways. Then Drew McIntyre comes out and starts whining and crying as usual. I have my WrestleMania moment. Ruined by CM Punk. Dude, how many times do I tell you? It's like, how many times do I tell Drew McIntyre this? Dude, you had the title. You could have walked away. You decided to taunt CM Punk. You got CM Punk upset. Damian Priest capitalized on the situation. Beat you for the title. Dude, you had your moment. You made a mistake. You blew it. And Sheamus came out, basically told him the same thing I said. You had your moment, then you blew it. And then I thought, those two are going to go at it. And then Sheamus went one-on-one for the first time against Shinsuke and Nakamura. In fact, and McIntyre is also, Drew McIntyre, before the match happened, started making fun of Sheamus because of his weight. And I'm like, oh boy, here we go. I didn't he says, I got in shape. I'll get back in shape. You know what though? Having Sheamus bulk up, He's like, instead of banger after bangers, burger after burger after burger. I'm like, oh boy. Anyways, you shouldn't fat shame Sheamus. I think, have him bulk up a little bit. That way nobody can pick him up and throw him around. And possibly he can hit that bro kick harder, knocking out an opponent. Only be a matter of time. We saw some big men, we saw Ivar and freaking Bronson Reed, for goodness sakes. Speaking of which, Kathy Kelly interviewed Sami Zayn. Actually, Sheamus did defeat Shinsuke Nakamura, by the way. Kathy Kelly interviewed Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn is a little upset because I want to hear what Chad Gable has to say before I say anything. But then Bronson Reed interrupts and said, I want that. And he said, fine, anytime, anywhere. And then, as he was, talking, Bronson Reed attacked Sami Zayn. Looks like I think Sami Zayn should move on from Chad Gable and go after Big Bronson Reed. Speaking of Chad Gable with the Alpha Academy, explains action last week, and Otis, Maxine Dupree, and Akira Tozawa kind of felt bad. They felt like they're getting booed, and then Chad Gable berates each member of the Alpha Academy. I'm like, dude, that's not. Then it means you're basically blaming them for you losing. I mean, dude, stop it. It's like if I were in that, if I saw that situation, I'd be going up to Chad Gable and say, hey, it's not their fault. It's your fault. You're obsessed with the title. Not gonna. Now he wants them to help him win the Intercontinental title. Dude, do it on your own. The Intercontinental title is a prestigious championship. Leave Otis, Maxine, and Akira alone. They didn't do nothing. Oh, I'm a disappointment. You're a big disappointment. Oh, shut up, Chad Gable. You dude white dingle nut. And the rumor has it, I'm telling you, there's rumors that him and the Creed brothers could have joined forces. And if that's the case, there could be a new version of the Diamond Mine Academy. Instead of the Alpha Academy, called the Diamond Mine. I'm telling you. So, Ricochet talks to Dominic Mysterio, but then, because Dominic Mysterio says, too bad. He's like, I always want to get you in the ring, but then Dominic Mysterio confronts Liv Morgan. I think, has Liv Morgan to blame for what happened to Dominic? Well, I'd be laughing my butt off if that was the case, but I don't know. Nia Jax said to address the women's world title battle royal. She says she's determined to win it. Meanwhile, Ricochet and Andrade went one-on-one in the tag matchup with Santos Escobar and JD McDonough. And Ricochet and Andrade did end up winning the matchup, but Damian Priest attacks Ricochet and Andrade after the match and basically said, I don't think I need you, but you need me more. What? But you need me more than I need you. So basically, I think Damian Priest is getting frustrated with the Judgment Day. If I were Finn Balor and come back next week, I gotta have a chat with Mr. Priest. So Zoe Stark addresses the Battle Royal. She's getting started. She says she's determined to win it. And then Jackie Redmond interviewed Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell, talking about their tactics and the way of winning. And then as they were talking, you heard the commotion in the background, and then Jackie Redmond turned around and said, is Nia Jax and Liv Morgan about to go at it? But officials, Adam Pearce, referees trying to separate these two. And then Becky Lynch just casually walks on by, and then hey, Becky, you're doing a lot of chaos around here. You know what? You've been doing a bang-up job. Can I'm wearing Manny hats right now. Do you mind? And go right ahead. Thanks. And then she's talking about, be fight night, a big night, battle royal. And then she sees Maxine Dupree talking with Ivy Nile. And then, and Kurt, it's your first time fighting for a world title, isn't it? And Maxine nods her head. You go out there and show them why this won't be your last. And I'm telling you, just having so much respect to do that for Becky Lynch, respect for Becky Lynch for doing that for Ivy Nile and Maxine Dupree. I think Becky saw what happened, and she she knows that Maxine Dupree needs a little bit of a pep talk. And you know what? Awesome job, Becky. So that leads up to the Women's World Title Battle Royal. Becky Lynch, Liv Morgan, Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark, Natalya, Chelsea Green, Piper Niven, Kaden Carter, Katana Chance, Ivy Nile, Maxine Dupree, Nia Jax, Candice LeRae, Indy Hartwell. And this was a heck of a fight. Maxine Dupree even held her own. She went up against Nia Jax, but Nia Jax did toss her out, unfortunately. But anyways, she eliminated Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell, which I think was a huge deal. But in the end, it was down between Nia Jax, Liv Morgan, and Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan worked together to eliminate Nia Jax, and then these two ladies went at it. And finally, we have a new Women's World Champion. Becky Lynch, for the 7th time in her career, wins the Women's World Championship. And she's never held that version of the title. And the man's back on top. So I'm sure Rhea Ripley may be watching and may be saying something. I wonder if Rhea Ripley has said something. I'm going to go on X for just a second here. Oh, jeez. Let's see. Just give me, give me, this could be something else. Give me a second here. Give me a second here. And we'll see what she had to say. Rhea Ripley, knowing Rhea. Nope. So, So, give me a second here. Let's see. Okay. All right. Let's see if she said anything about Becky Lynch winning the title. She says basically the forever runner-up and the interim champ. Ooh. At least she's watching the match with. She's watching the match with her new dog Bella, and I think that's a good thing that So, yeah. So, yeah. Also, I think Finn Balor signed a new contract with the WWE, which I'm very, very good at. So, yes, the forever runner-up and interim champ. Oh boy! And it looks like that could spark the rivalry between Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley a little bit more. So, yeah, Becky Lynch couldn't get the job done at WrestleMania, and figured a few weeks afterwards, why the heck not? But I'm sure Seth Rollins, recuperating from injury, will hold down the fort at home with their little one when they watch the man do her thing in the middle of the ring. So, and I'm sure Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan could be a rivalry renewed once again. But then you see Rhea Ripley, the forever runner-up and the interim champ. Well, I'll tell you what. I think when Rhea comes back, her and Becky Lynch. But then again, the draft may change a lot of things. So who knows? If Io Sky gets drafted to Raw, you can see her challenge Becky Lynch for the title, and that'll be an opportunity for her to become a Grand Slam champion. Who knows what's going to happen? So I'm really excited about it. So tonight's MTV, almost like MTV Spring Breaking, NXT Spring Breaking Night 1. I'd like to see Nikita Lyons host this. She will look good in the bikini. Anyways, and as you know, there'll be the final NXT event before. It is a 2-night event, and final NXT event before the draft, because the draft NXT superstars will be eligible for the draft this year, and who knows, night 2, and I would say that I would have the draft wait until and I think the rosters won't be put into place until after Backlash, maybe. And if that's the case, then I would. Then that means NXT Spring Breaking. We heard rumors going around that Lola Vice has chosen Shayna Baszler to be in her corner for the NXT Underground matchup again. For her NXT Underground matchup. against Natalia, and I think I'll tell you if that's the case. Lola Vice is one smart cookie. She has been thinking on her feet. She knows that Shayna's trained with Natalia, so this is going to be something. And with the MMA style that Lola Vice has, the background, along with Shayna Baszler, I think it will be something. Okay, gonna be a lot of fun. Alrighty then, that's all the time we have on the show. As remember, this is the final Raw before the draft, and I'll be changing my thumbnails after the draft. Remember that the Wrestling Event Center thumbnails will be changed after the draft. So be on the lookout. I'll probably have to work on. I'll probably will work on some of them. It depends on who gets drafted where and all that good stuff. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Episode 1361 of Eric Lima Shenanigans 1977. On the next episode, we're going to do some Trebek Tuesday. That's right, the 85th edition of Trebek Tuesday. A little high rollers for you. So until the next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home. That is all for today's episode. This is your announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E, do it for Bob Saget Productions, and in association with a Raven Bofa Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching today's episode. Tune in next time for another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Goodbye for now.